look. Shit. The the big garbage truck right outside my window decided to pull up just as I went live. I gotta wait for that noise to go away. Hello. I'm gonna try to do a short little topic on burnout and then maybe a short panel. I am not feeling well today. I woke up with a chest pain right here. It's I don't think it's my heart. It feels like the muscle or the lung, maybe the way I slept, and I'm very fatigued. So I think I'm just gonna do some self-care today, and try to get through this topic on burnout. But first, let's look at the news. They got the Hamas guy. It looks like they killed him with a drone. Special counsel releases trove of redacted. Oh, this could be interesting. Because that's what I was hoping that we would get a trial so we could see all of this evidence, but maybe we'll get to see some of it anyway. Contain information that's already been released publicly. Oh, okay. The evidence released Friday gives a glimpse into what Jack Smith is using to prosecute Trump. Okay, well, I'm gonna maybe look at that today later. It's not gonna make me change my opinion on Kamala. I can tell you that. Oh my God! Hang on one second. There may be even more breaking news. Um, no, not yet. The Cure has a new album coming out, and I thought it might have been out today. And then North Korea, it looks like, is sending troops to Ukraine to help Russia. So that's the news stuff. I think there's a few tweets. And then I will talk about burnout, of which I may be feeling. um, okay, here's a little chart. Matthew Iglesias posted it. It's just kind of FYI. The wage gap is decreasing. Has been the strong since COVID. Wage inequality for adjusted for inflation has been falling. Oh, this is interesting. Listen to this. For those of you on the racism train, people that buy eggs to have babies with, like you can buy eggs to have a child for, I guess, IVF, in vitro fertilization. The white eggs, if it's an egg of a white to have a white baby, it goes for around $100,000. Guess how much black baby eggs go for? 12,000. So the market is speaking. The market apparently does not want black babies. They want the white babies. But that's not the top egg in demand. Chinese Americans. If you're a Chinese American with a master's degree from MIT, you can get $250,000 for your egg. So how is that white supremacy if the eggs to make future babies with that are most prized are the Chinese American eggs? Rebel City, hello. Zephyr, hello. Oh, thank you, hello. What's the Hello Moonshine? What's that song from Starshine? Yeah. Good morning, Starshine. Glibby glop glooby. Nibby nubby nooby. La 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 la. Okay, I want to tell you about the eggs. Oh, and here's another interesting chart. In fact, this guy wrote an article. I wish I could read it. It's behind a paywall. But take a look at this. This is the Silicon Valley tech CEOs in 2000. In the mid aughts, they were mostly kind of balanced. They started out conservative, and this is kind of the tech I remember. Um, 2020, they went really. That's probably the George Floyd stuff and the woke stuff. Look at it in 2024. Look at what happened to this bump, and look at what happened to this bump. People are getting tired of this shit. I'm telling you. Oh wait, there was another chart too. Um, these are corporate executives, not necessarily tech executives, but corporate executives. And this is by campaign cost. It's who they donate to in their campaign. So this means the amount of tech CEOs donated to the progressive left versus the right, conservative right. So I wonder what's going on there. Let's see this. So here's another one. It looks like things are shifting leftward at the top. But the CEOs are still more right leaning. So your top is still right leaning but tilting left, and everything else is tilting even more left. So hey Daniel Barry, Bex, how are you? I think I have another tweet or two. Um, I think I'll save that one for another day. Oh, yeah, watch this. Some more shit. Supposedly this is illegal. Whoever this is, head operations of the Labour Party. This is in the UK. She has nearly 100 Labour Party staff going to the US, heading to these swing states to to help with our elections. It has to be coordinated to be legal. So they can do it on their own. People are allowed to visit this country and exercise speech in accordance with the first, as long as Democrats or any field isn't involved, it's perfectly legal. Don't know why they're doing it. It seems weird to begin with. Oh, see, this person thinks that if they're doing it, it must be because they're being paid. All right. I think that's too many rabbit holes, Twitter rabbit holes for one day. I want to get to this burnout topic. Hey, Plasma, how are you? I I hope so. I sleep on my couch, so it could very well be. Um, Although it's never happened before, I've been doing it for years. It feels like internal, pressing outward. Yours too? Hey, Fun with Dirt. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. What's going on with our mutual friend? Another person I haven't seen in a while. Um, oh, there's a lively conversation in Discord I'm trying to keep up with too. Um, anyway, burnout. Okay, let me get to that. Um, I have several articles on burnout pulled up. I'm just trying to synthesize them. It's a state of emotional, mental, and often physical exhaustion brought on by prolonged or repeated stress. So, just kind of the ambient stress of day to day life or working a job or doing a task persistently over a long period of time. It's often talked about in the context of work or jobs. I'm going to try to talk about it in the context of doing a YouTube channel. It says it's not simply the result of working long hours, juggling too much task, etc. All those both play a role. The cynicism, depression, and lethargy. I don't think I have that. That are characteristic of burnout most often occur when a person is not in control of how a job is carried out at work or home. Yeah, that doesn't apply to me. How to know if you're burned out. The Mayo, here I'll put this link. The Mayo Clinic has a list of questions you can ask yourselves to check if you're burnt out. And one reason it's important for people like me and neurodivergent people is because when I get in my hyperfocus, my attention tunnel, my monotropism, I one of the things that falls out of that attention range is my body, my bodily signals, like any data coming from my body. I tend to tune out my body. I sometimes forget to eat. I go without sleeping. When I was an AOL addict and it was really bad, I wouldn't even like getting up to the bathroom to go pee, just to leave the chat room long enough to go pee. I wouldn't pee on myself, but it would it wasn't a normal. I didn't go when I gotta go, so it can impact all of that. Like and I think that includes burnout because I think it's your body. I guess I'm really just bad at tuning into my body when I'm engaged in mental or creative activity. My body tends to fade out, and I have dissociation anyway. And so tuning into my body, I think, is what tells me if I'm reaching burnout or need self-care, that type of stuff. And I'm honestly not sure. I'm going to attempt to do that today and find out. But let me go through some of these Mayo Clinic questions. Do you question the value of your work? Not at all. It gets affirmed more and more every day I'm here. So that is not a factor. Do I drag myself to work and have trouble getting started? No, sometimes I get a late start on the day, but I'm juggling a real life while I'm doing this too. Like today, I did laundry and caught up on household stuff, ran a few errands. But it's not because I'm procrastinating the stream. I very much look forward to doing this. So that one was not. That one's a no. Do you feel removed from your work and the people you work with? No. In fact, I've never felt more engaged and connected with the people I work with. Like, because it's the people, it's specifically the people I'm trying to draw in that I want to work. Like my particular client base, I'm trying to attract here, and it seems to be working. Have you lost patience with coworkers, customers, or clients? Not any more than usual. Do I lack energy to do your job well? Maybe. Or maybe something else is going on. I don't know. I have noticed a slight dip in enthusiasm. And I'm pretty sure that's me. I don't think it has to do with anything going on in the stream or on YouTube. Is it hard to focus on your job? No more than normal. Do you feel little satisfaction from what you get done? No. Do you feel let down by your job? No. Do you doubt your skills and abilities? No. Are you using food, drugs, and alcohol to feel better? No. Have your sleep habits changed? Do you have headaches, stomach or bowel problems, or other physical complaints with no known cause? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you might have job burnout. Some of the causes: people that don't feel in control of their work. That's one reason I did this, because I am able to do better work on my own with the creative freedom that I have over it, the control it gives me over my work, than any employer I've ever worked for. Not having a say in how you do your job, not having what you need to do your work, etc., can also add to burnout. Lack of clarity about what's expected of you. Because I'm not working for another person, I don't really have supervisor expectations to worry about. I guess you can say in a way I have expectations from you, but there's probably a range of expectations of me. Some of them I'm not here to meet, and some of them I am. And I think the expectations that I am here to meet, from the feedback I'm getting, are more or less being met or starting to be met. Conflicts with others. Maybe you work with an office bully, or you feel like your coworkers are against you, or your boss is too involved when you work. These can lead to stress. I think this is the drama sphere. Maybe the drama sphere can cause burnout. I don't know. Anybody in the drama sphere can weigh in on this. Um, do you get burnt out on the drama at any point? Do you need to take breaks from it, or does it constantly energize and like recharge you in this perpetual feedback loop? I'm not sure. Maybe some of it's the drama. I've just lost all interest in it, mainly because it's more boredom than anything else. Because I see patterns quickly, and once I notice the patterns, and if they don't change after a while, I lose interest. That same thing happens with TV shows, um, some online groups. Too much or too little to do. Maybe your job is boring, or it's so busy you can't keep up with the demands. I've always felt a little under challenged here. Like, I feel like I'm working, I could be working up here, but I'm working about right here because that's what is showing up at my stream. If if people that challenge me to work up here show up, I'll start working up here. So I work to the level of challenge that's put before me. And sometimes I seek out challenge and push myself and try to do, um, you know, experiment on with different types of streams. We did the Monopoly game the other day. Leggy and I are doing the music album review thing the other day in the context of the events that also happened around that time period. So I guess if I feel this way, I still have the power to challenge myself with additional um, types of streams, like little stretches, I guess. So this is not really that big of a deal. Lack of support. I always feel that. Like I am used to doing my thing and not really anybody around me much being into it. And so I am grateful for the little bit of support I get here and there, and that's usually enough to sustain me. So I kind of intentionally, I've learned to intentionally make sure that what I do doesn't depend really on a lot of other people supporting it. It tends to be self-supported or self-sustaining because I have a drive. Like I'm very driven. I can go and go and go and do and do and do and do and do until that mission gets accomplished. Like I'm just very persistent. I've always been that way. I don't stop until it gets done, and I'm determined to do this. Um, but it is common in the mental health field and the peer field that I do where we give support to others all day long, all day long, all day long. But it's hard for us to get the same kind of support we're able to give. Usually we get it from other peers. I have a little peer circle that I can tap into when I need the kind of support I give because and I don't need 50-50 support. Like I'm okay with like 60-40, 70-30. I just have to have a little bit come back. It doesn't have to be the same amount that I'm giving. But when I need a certain type of support for myself, I have to go and find specific sources for that. And that's why I keep a pretty robust support system where I do have access to those sources. So as long as I make use of those, I can get the support I need without having it come from necessarily from the community or the clients that I'm supporting. And then work-life balance, I have none. This is my life. This work is my life. That and the stuff we do in the Discord outside of this was it's all part of the community building project. So when I'm talking about the work, I guess I'm talking about the channel, the Discord, and my practice where I see clients. So all of that together makes up this larger project of trying to be part of the mental health solution for men, neurodivergent people, and create a healthy community for those people. Um, I talked to the AI a little bit. I want to just see what it has. Exhaustion, detachment or cynicism, becoming emotionally numb, feeling disconnected from others. Yeah, I think some of this is happening, and I'm not sure why. So that might be something to keep an eye on and explore. Reduced performance. I do feel. I always feel like I could be doing more than I'm doing. At the very least, I'm here every day holding the space. And I have seen people use it to get support, the support that they need to keep living their lives. And I have seen people use it to make connections that seem like a healthy source of support as well. So as long as it's doing at least that, and it doesn't even have to be every day. If it's doing at least that, a little bit a week or a few times a month, it's worth it to me. It's worth it to me keep coming back and doing this. Physical symptoms, well, other than this chest thing and the fatigue, emotional effects. I don't really have, believe it or not, I don't really have a lot of negative emotions like depression, anxiety. That I mine takes the form more of like I just go flat. I don't feel anything at all. I just feel numb, maybe a little dysthymic, which is a very mild form of unhappiness or depression. Kind of like a low key, constant, slight lowness that runs in the background. But not actual depression. I'm very attuned to depression. That's one thing I'm my body is attuned to. And when I dip into depression, I can almost always tell when that change is happening. And then I know how to pull myself out of it. And it's just at the very threshold. So if I catch it early enough, I don't sink very deeply. And I don't experience depression very often, believe it or not. Part of it, I think, is because of the numbness and the dissociation. And like a few months ago, I had a doctor that put me on a medication for, like, most of my depression is chemical. Alcohol sometimes can bring it on, certain types of weed. Um, he put me on a medication for an actual medical issue. And after about a week of taking it, I started to feel depressed. Like I started to get actual symptoms of depression. It's a specific feeling. It's almost a chemical feeling. Like I could feel it in my brain. And I didn't know why. I'm like, why am I suddenly depressed? And I can't shake it. And none of the tools that I normally use to come out of it are working. It seems to just be holding steady or even increasing. And then I read the side effects of the medication, and depression was one of the main side effects. And I stopped the medication, the depression went away almost within a day or two. So that's how, like, I think my depression is very chemically correlated. I can usually trace it to a chemical factor that's contributing to the depression. Causes of burnout, we've looked at some of those. Excessive workload, lack of control or supporting one's role, unclear, unreasonable expectations, monotony, lack of recognition, imbalance between work and personal life. Recognize the signs early. The big thing about burnout really is knowing when you're in it. And that's the hardest part. Like even right now, I'm not even sure I'm in burnout or not. I maybe could be, but I'm not in tune with my body enough to really get a full sense. uh, yeah, indeed, huh? Yeah, it's easy to ignore once you. It's like a bad sitcom. Like once you've watched a few episodes and you see the formula to it, it's easy to ignore after that. Oh my God, Austin, that's one of the main reasons I left the workforce. I have a really hard time. If you're hiring me at all, it's probably because you don't know as much as me on how to do the job in the first place. Otherwise, you wouldn't need me to come in there and help you do it. And the population I work with, special ed kids, at-risk youth, men, neurodivergent, there's not a lot of people with that skill set that could do those jobs. So if you're hiring me to do that job, you need to defer to my expertise, and I'm not gonna let you dictate to me how to do a job. In fact, every job I've ever had, in my initial interview, I tell every person that's hired me, I've told this in the initial interview. I tell them that I am here. In fact, the first Ben Sal I got, she asked me like, what is your work style? How do you approach work? And I said, tell me what you need me to do, and then get out of my way and let me do it. I don't need a lot of micromanagement. I don't need people telling me how to do my job. I know how to do the job. That's why you're hiring me. And she's like, oh, I love that. Oh, you're very self-directed and independent. I love that. And she hired me and proceeded to do nothing but micromanage me the whole time. And I had to constantly tell her, I told you in the interview that I don't work well with a lot of micromanagement. Like, why do you keep doing this? I know what my job is. I know how to do my job. What are you adding to my ability to do my job by constantly harassing me about stuff that I already know how to do? She was neurotic and insecure. That's part of the answer. Um, I can't work. That's been my whole life. Even teachers in school, I've never let stupid people. Like, why would anybody let somebody that obviously doesn't know what they're talking about tell them what to do? Why would anybody let that person be the guide to whatever activity you're trying to accomplish? I learned that as a kid. But the workplace is full of people who it's authority. It's I don't. It's maybe it's a neurotypical thing, like authority for the sake of authority. If to me, this is my approach to a job. This is my mindset when I enter a workforce. We're all part of this big happy team that's all there with the same mission and the same goal, which is to help the clients, help them improve their lives, well-being, etc. And we're all trying to direct our efforts to that same goal. So it's in our best interest to collaborate and cooperate on that goal so that the clients can get the best service that we could possibly give them. Uh-uh. That is not how a workplace works. It is like Secret Survivor. It is like Tribal Council. It is like they have what is it called? The Iron Law of Institutions or something where once people get power, their job becomes to maintain that power, not necessarily to. That becomes the top priority, and sometimes that can conflict with the actual job roles and job duties that's expected of them as part of the larger work purpose. Let's see, rolling it. Yeah, I try not to lose my soul. What little bit of it I have left. It's been put through some challenges. I try to like keep little snatches of it when I can. Um, Prioritize self care. I've done an entire stream on self care. In fact, several of them. So I think I'll just skip that part. Setting boundaries, and in that sense, it's learning to say no. It's learning to not stream if you realize you're burnt out. I took a YouTube break, I guess a month or so ago. I didn't even look at YouTube for about a day and a half. And oh my God, what a mental reset that was. That was one of the mentally healthiest things I've done probably all year. And it was easy to do, which is probably an indication that I needed it. Reduce overcommitment. That's another thing I'm bad at is saying no because I have such a drive. I'm able to help people all day long whenever they need it. And even if I'm able to help that person, sometimes it's my best interest to take care of myself and conserve my bandwidth and not help them. But I always defaulted to help them no matter what because part of the reason is because I know that there's not a lot of people out there where they can get the kind of help that I'm able to give. And so why not be that person? Hey, Abe. And like I said, this goes way back to even my childhood. I was always that person growing up that people came to when they had an issue, they had a problem, they needed to talk. Like even as a teenager, I was that friend that they came to. I was that shoulder, that listening ear. So I was always available for people's problems and never had a problem with it. And that's also how I survived was other people being there for me. I would not have made it without having other people there to do that for me when I needed it. So it's like reciprocal support, which is basically the essence of peer support. Seek social support. Talk to someone. Come here. Find a healthy stream to hang out on. In our Discord channel, we have an entire channel for mental health support where if you need support, come in that channel and let us know what's going on. And there's probably somebody around that can talk to you. Join support groups, lean on your community. Absolutely. I have done probably 10 or 20 streams by now on the mental health benefits of a healthy community. And I think that hopefully people can see some of these happening live right here on this channel. Community has all that is if somebody had to ask me what is your number one tool, if you could only pick one tool to help with your mental health, what would that tool be? I'd say community. Just give me a healthy community and I can keep myself healthy from there. I can create the support network I need from that community. I know how to use that community. I know how to contribute to that community in positive ways where it increases that synergistic benefit for everybody. Reevaluate your priorities. Identify what matters. Yeah, yeah. Like, what am I really here for? And I say that to channel people a lot. Like, if you're not very clear about your mission and why you started the channel and what you were hoping to accomplish with it, you risk becoming derailed by trolls, drama, other missions that have nothing to do with what you like. Other people are going to hijack your channel for their purpose if you don't have a clear, strong purpose internalized for yourself on why you're doing this channel. Take breaks. Yep, I may do that. Assess your goals. If your workload, if your workload is too high, or the expectations are too unrealistic, it might be time to reevaluate your personal, professional goals. And I think that's kind of good to do periodically, just anyway. Kind of always reassess so you don't get locked into a course of action just out of habit when there might be better options available. If it gets too bad, you could always like seek support from somewhere else, coaching, therapy, counseling, that type of thing. So there's those options. You can adjust your environment, like just create a more soothing, harmonious workspace, I guess. This one's interesting. Reignite passion. Find meaning in your work. Reflect on the reasons you started your work or what you enjoy about it. Reconnecting with your purpose. Yes, this probably helps more than anything. When I get those little flashes of, yes, the thing you're trying to do, it's doing. It, look at it. You're doing what you set out to do. It's happening. Those are the little things that keep me going. And they're little glimpses here and there, maybe a few times a week. I'll see them. But those are the moments I go back to when I'm reevaluating, is all this worth it? And I think of that, I'm like, yes, keep doing it. Keep doing it. You have those moments. Keep doing it. Find new hobbies. Practice gratitude. Focus on the positive. Each day, take a moment to recognize things that you're grateful for, no matter how small. Gratitude can help shift your mindset and improve resilience. Gratitude is an attitude. Um, I am grateful and I am appreciative, but I don't know that that keeps me from noticing all the little yoyants that I I could whine and complain about, like, at the same time. Like the little pee under the mattress. I can be grateful and appreciative and still feel that pee underneath the mattress and want to like do something about that and focus on that at the expense of all the positive stuff. And then consider a change. If the burnout is, if you may not be doing the right activity, if the burnout persists and nothing you try to do helps, you just, it just may be time to switch to something else. There's also compassion fatigue, which I may want to do that as a separate topic. It's kind of tied into burnout, but I don't know that it has much to do with the type of burnout that I'm talking about here. Mainly because I don't think I'm helping nearly enough people that I'm trying to even begin to approach compassion fatigue. But basically, it's when you're in a helping profession and you well, let me just give its definition. It's a form of emotional and physical exhaustion experienced by individuals who provide care or support to others, particularly in professions or roles that involve helping people in distress, such as healthcare workers, therapists, caregivers, volunteers, peers. It is often described as the cost of caring because it occurs when someone is repeatedly exposed to the suffering of others and become overwhelmed by their own empathy and concern. Actually, I'm pretty good at keeping bound. The life I've had and the job settings I've been in, I've had to learn pretty early to be able to develop those boundaries so that I'm not like my empathy is not overwhelmed by everything I'm facing. Like it, there's kind of a form of healthy, compassionate detachment that I think you learn, and that's what I use for compassion fatigue. All right, we've gone about half an hour, so I think I will. I got through way more of it than I thought I might. There's the link, and we'll do a panel now. All right, panel's open. Let me look at comments. Yes, shameless. Yes, yes. That you are the people you spend time with. That is that second factor. When we look at that chart with the first factor and the second factor, and then you have the third factor that emerges from it. The second factor are the people that you spend your time around, and that to me is a easier to control. That influence on you is easier to control than the influences that come from your body. You can modify your bodily influences somewhat through diet, exercise, sleep, good habits, that kind of stuff. Maybe medication. But it's a lot easier to just go find new people. You can always choose the people that you put yourself around, and there's an infinite options of people. So when I need to make changes, the best way for me to do it is just go find the people that are going to support that change and spend my time around them. Yeah, me too. I catch a lot of flack for my passion, but there's a reason that I fight back every time and I don't capitulate to it. Nobody's taking my passion from me. And you know what I've learned? The people that are doing it, I can almost guarantee if you look at their lives, these are the people that have never felt the emotion of passion. Because people that have passion, you don't even need to explain or justify to them. Your passion, your strong emotions, your activities, any of that. Hey, Spike. All right, we got Joe and Busker. Welcome.
Come
Hey,
on.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spike really is kind of very steady and grounded. Unless, of course, he appears to be. I don't know what's going on inside of him. Hopefully, he's healthy and doing healthy self-care too. But I
yeah,
do get that impression
he's
from Spike as
he's
well.
very chill. I've watched. He plays music for hours, and like he's like kind of like a DJ kind of on YouTube.
Yeah, Spike. Let me put Spike's channel. He does interesting panels. He does like music, chill music, and he makes his own mixes. And then he'll like let panelists up every now and then between the music. But it's a very most of the time it's a very chill vibe. Every now and then a little bit of drama dust up, but he's pretty good at managing it. Yes, solitude is better than bad company. I have learned that lesson very early myself. um, it can be a factor in someone's health, and regardless of what someone's actual mental health conditions are, just having a healthy community can improve almost any mental health condition. Having that affirmation, validation, positive regard, affinity, all of that. We're social creatures, so when we get the good stuff from other people, from society, we get those social needs met. I think that
Hey, Jeff,
almost
you got some of that
always.
good stuff?
I think I have the good stuff.
Okay.
I have both. I have a whole collection of little vials of stuff. Some of it's
Oh,
good,
man.
but I have the bad stuff when I need it, as any good Satanist should.
What stuff? What uh what do you mean stuff?
Stuff is anything that it needs to be.
I got you.
I will
So,
say about Spike, he does seem like he gets along pretty well with folks in the panelverse, even though some of those people don't get along with each other who get along with Spike.
yeah. In fact, I don't know if I could even name one person off the top of my head that doesn't get along with Spike.
Huh?
He makes a good nexus too. He's like a drama. Like all the people that hate each other somehow can all agree to like Spike.
Yep.
That's a strength, Spike. I'm serious. Like, be aware of that.
Maybe there's a panelverse spectrum, and we could say one end of the spectrum is Spike, and the other end of the spectrum is Mike. So where do you fall on the Spike Mike spectrum?
I don't see Mike as the problem. I see
I
the
see it
Mike
more in terms
hatred,
of
the Mike obsession is the
yes.
problem.
So there you go. Right? It's more measuring that. It's more measuring
Mike
that.
is just a totem or a catalyst for some dark shit going on in their psyches. are some very undeveloped shit from childhood.
You mean Italian, Mike?
Yeah, we could call him that.
Well, he's proud to be Italian. I know that much. But yeah.
Interesting, Shameless.
Spike used to get pushed. Oh, for being a. Well, I'm glad he held his ground because it turned out that that was actually just like I do with my passion. He had the instinct to hold the ground
My
against
guess
that
is that
kind
they
of
were
pushback.
testing him when he got the pushback. They were testing him to see if he would take the bait and can get sucked into the drama, and he just didn't. That's my guess. I wasn't there. You can confirm if I'm correct or not, Shameless. Or
Well,
Spike even. Yeah. You can
you
both
were 100%
confirm.
correct. 100% accuracy.
Well, he said Sam is correct.
Oh,
So we'll see if Sam thinks that I'm correct. I'm inferring based on Spike's behavior and character.
yeah, that's what I go by. And mostly, to me, character is displayed in action. I go by actions more
Exactly.
than anything else. And
When I saw how gracious
words and
he won
speech are also a
Monopoly, I
form
knew
of
he had
action.
character.
Okay. Well, and this is not a mic channel, so I don't want to have that be the topic.
Yeah, let's. I made a passing
The
remark.
next Darth Vader.
Do I need to like I look like a young James Earl Jones. Am I James Earl Jones in whiteface or something?
What? I
But
don't see it. I'm not seeing it.
Oh boy, I'm not taking the bait, not laws. I'm not taking the bait.
Horse blinders? Is that like that cone they put on dogs to keep from scratching the little flaps on the side of the horse? Yes, consistent. Like I like again. I look at the pattern of people's actions, and sometimes a single action is all it takes to throw that pattern off. And a pattern is two. If something happens more than one, you have that's the beginning of a pattern, a potentially beginning of a pattern.
Oh yeah.
So it
So
doesn't take much for me.
do I need to avoid passing remarks about Mike because I can just sort of drop it
I
once?
I would prefer it because I'm trying to steer
Okay.
this channel away from the drama, and he seems to be the locus for a lot
Yeah.
of it.
If I make a passing remark, for me it's an isolated event, but people in chat are going to be like, their sensors go off and they're
Well,
like the
good thing
fucking
I have my
trolls
demon
in Nemo.
trolls ready and loaded. We banish to hell very liberally here.
There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to whenever I feel like the mic example is going to be good, I just need to use something else. Something else that's not
I mean,
personal.
use consider the context. I mean, there may be some times where
The
a
context is
reference to him
that
is unavoidable.
people just they're addicted to it. You say his name
Right?
and they're
Yes,
like,
that's what
"Oh, it's
it's like a
Mike
drop of
time."
alcohol. Like just mentioning his name is a drop of alcohol.
It's like literally it's like when the
Look at what we're
girl
doing right now.
finally gets rid of her ex-boyfriend, right? And then he shows up again and she's like, "All right, here we go again." And she knows it's going to be a bad, but she can't resist for some reason. But yeah,
Besides,
you
I
said you're
think
feeling
mental health and neurodivergence and philosophy and politics and all is more interesting than any of this drama stuff anyway.
yeah. Well, it's kind of like again when I first showed up into the panelverse and people are like, "Wow, stocks and money," and you were so intrigued by it. And then, um, if one thing has maybe from topics like that has detracted from topics like that, it has been the drama stuff. But I always think the things we can do is more interesting. So the game nights that we could do in stream even would be more interesting. The self-help stuff, and then any like everyone has their own specialty they can bring forward. Like I bring the stocks and investing
Yeah,
stuff.
the Nexus thing, like that's your
Exactly.
contribution to the Nexus. Busker brings the accordion.
Yeah, dude. Hey, how about 80s music trivia?
Oh my God! If y'all want to lose, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
I'm up for that. We could play right now.
You
We
would
should
probably win though. I don't know. I don't know. You might.
Well, where do we find it? Is there a website with it? Let's see.
I
I wonder
have
if the
Let's
AI
play
could come up with
Scrabble.
trivia. I hate Scrabble so much.
Why do you hate Scrabble? I'm curious
I
to know.
just,
I
I
love
just
it.
do. I guess I'm not a word letter per. If it's just words and letters, I don't think it interests me enough.
I was
Plus, there's
Okay.
like the math part where you have to calculate. You have to strategize about points.
See, that's fun to me because then every letter represents a potential return on capital. So it's another great investing game in disguise. I love it.
I want to see if what the AI's capability of coming up with trivia questions is.
Hmm. Wait, Spike, what's unfair to me? Spike said something was unfair to me.
Busker, is it 80s trivia or just 80s music trivia?
Oh,
uh,
the generation of trivia is unfair to me. That might be. Yeah.
well, 80s music. I'm guessing. I mean, like we can relate on that. I mean, I
All
don't
right,
know how
80s
much
music
other
trivia.
people
Hey,
care,
Kane.
but it's like, yeah, that's a good decade that my brain
Yes,
was
Spike.
molding in that decade.
Yeah, I was born in '91, so a lot of the '80s stuff is lost on me. Except for like
Well, it
some
told
of
me it
the
was going to hide the
blockbuster hits.
answers, but then it didn't.
So if the '80s stuff concerns Star Wars or Back to the Future, then I
Oh,
might
the
know it. But
it
that's
came up with really easy. Let me. Can you come up with some harder ones? Like who sang Billie Jean?
hmm.
Oh shit, that's so stupid.
Here's among which band's 1980. Okay, I know this one, but which band's 1980 album "Remain in Light" featured? Oh, actually, okay. Which band did the 1980 album "Remain in Light"? I think reading any more would give it away.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh, come on. Well, okay, I don't expect you. Busker, are you Gen X?
Yeah. What do you mean remain in light? Is that a?
That's the title of an album
Oh yeah,
from 1980.
I never heard. That sounds a little too like I
Yeah,
don't know.
it may not be a band that you
Yeah, I don't think.
intersected with much, but I bet the chat knows it. There's got to be somebody in the chat that knows this one. But the second question, listen to the second question. Which 80s new wave band had a hit with Under the Milky Way in 1988?
Yeah. That was not the church, was it? No, was it? Was it the church? I'm
It
getting
was
it
the
mixed up
Church.
because I covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I covered that one. That was the church. Yeah, I had fun doing that. I spent, man, I didn't get burnt out on that. That was before all the MS was really taking over. So like, yeah, man, I could drink and record and smoke pot and make up music. It was good, good days. I miss that shit.
Yeah. It seems like the good days often are in the past.
I know.
But that doesn't mean we can't make more.
Yeah, I mean, like that. For the most part, I'm liking just getting on YouTube panels that I can deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
I've got nothing else going on. Like I'm on too many pharmaceuticals to make me want to care about anything anymore. Really.
Oh.
I mean, I when I play music, it's more kind of robotic at this point. But when I smoke some herb, then I start to really not get into it, but I can get more creative. So that's kind of like the counteracting the pharma.
Hmm.
That's why I've always loved cannabis because I mean, since I was a kid, man, fucking, I started playing guitar, and I thought, every time I smoke pot, I start playing better. What's up with that? But the trick is to remember this stuff, and I figured out, all right, I'll get a tape deck and record it on a tape deck. So that's how I started, you know, remembering this stuff that I just create out of nowhere. When you're high on pot, like is sativa especially. Maybe not indica so much. Um, Sativa will take you to the music realm for
Oh,
making
thanks, Mike. Yeah, indicas just make me sleepy.
yeah. I don't get any kind of musical drive at all when I'm playing with
So,
indica.
Joe, did you have any adventures yesterday? We saw you
Uh,
driving somewhere.
yeah, I actually had to leave suddenly because that thing was like destroying my battery, so I had to preserve it. But yeah, I was on my way to the board game event. I went to um one of the libraries where I have not had issues, and it was so packed there. There were so many because it was the first day of early voting in North Carolina today, and so many people were
Oh,
ready to vote. There was a big line, almost like it was election day itself, and I almost couldn't park there to go to the board game event. We got kicked to a smaller room. Not that it really mattered because we're not a big group, but and we played Scrabble there, and um
So
I won
you're,
both times.
you're in North Carolina.
Yep.
Wow, man, did you get any of that hurricane on your side?
I got some of the rain when uh it happened, but it was like the edge of the storm. The most direct impact was in the Appalachians, and I live in
Yeah,
the hills, so I didn't really get affected by it.
yeah.
It's just wetter.
That would be like so weird. Like I imagine that with the mountains in Maryland, and if that happened there, that would like trip me out. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that would definitely be surprising.
Yeah, that's one. And I think there is Appalachia goes through Maryland, doesn't it? The mountains, I believe. Maybe it's on the outside, or in the state's outer outskirting.
let's look. Oh, it looks like there's 7 distinct nations of Appalachia.
Yeah, there's the southern part and the not southern part.
There's it looks like a little bit. They call it Yankee Lacha, Yankee Lacha. A little bit of it seems to go through Maryland, the western side.
Yeah, that's.
Wow, these photos are gorgeous.
I think I might have been out there actually when I was in Boy Scouts, but I can't really remember. That was so long ago.
Oh no, Mr. P, I did not. What's that about? She's
So yeah, man, I like Scrabble too, Joe.
It's a good
I'll
game.
host a Scrabble as long as I don't have to play. I don't mind hosting.
I
You know
just
what,
want
Jeff?
to.
I had an idea actually where you could have a roll in Scrabble without playing if you were the host
The
and the judge.
Saboteur.
So here's something we could do to make it interesting, thematic. Basically, it's like if so, let's say we did a Halloween theme one, right? A Halloween Scrabble night. If somebody makes a word that is Halloween themed, they get 5 extra points on top of whatever they would have normally gotten. And then you can just be the judge if it counts as Halloween themed or not. So,
Dude, that
you
sounds
know,
cool. Fuck yeah.
just
Are you,
something to add a little to it, And so like bone or bat, right? Could be Halloween themed.
is that
Um,
like a Scrabble app or something that you
Oh,
can?
I'm sure there's
yeah,
Scrabble
yeah, there's things
online.
like that.
Yeah,
What would
like
be
a,
really
a
cool is if you could get
website.
4 people to play.
They have, I think a lot of people, they have versions of Scrabble that aren't exactly Scrabble, but they kind of are, like Lexulus and Words with Friends on Facebook. I play that with my mom all the time. Yeah, man, I've been playing that since I was a kid, Scrabble.
I mean, it's okay. I don't hate it as much as Monopoly. I'll play if we're at a coffee shop and friends want to break out the Scrabble board, but
It really
I don't
has,
seek it out.
over all these years, has always helped me learn new words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that's maybe a problem with Scrabble is that more words have been added since the game was made, but they haven't
Mm-hmm.
changed the points. And so, like,
Oh yeah.
Q and J will give you a lot of things. I think they should adjust the point balance of the letters to reflect that. They should do something about that. Because you just put a QI to make
Yeah.
Kai.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
QI, ZA, and
I think Scrabble was more interesting when it was more limiting in terms of what you were allowed to make. Because given enough time, if you just keep adding words, it's easier to play Scrabble. In 100 years,
oh,
God knows how easy it will be to play Scrabble with all the new words we'll have.
well, like those 2-letter like words, those with those really high point letters, they're the killers sometimes, like
Yeah.
the X and the Q and the Z.
I
And
guess it's kind of like chess almost, where chess, the more time passes, the closer chess gets to being solved. And then once it's solved, it's
Oh my god, I remember Words
winning.
with Friends. I forgot all about that. That was fun.
yeah, that's like another form of Scrabble, sort of. Yeah, dude, I'd love to play that game with one of you guys.
Well, I want to do more games here as we get players interested enough. And I want to learn Tabletop Simulator. So if anybody out there could teach it to me, that'll open a lot of possibilities.
Tabletop Simulator, what's that all about?
You can play board games digitally online. It
Oh
simulates
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're sitting around a table.
Ah, really? Okay.
What's words with friends?
It's like Scrabble, like but
Okay.
You'd play it over like text or I don't know how
it,
to
it,
describe it. It was like a live. You'd play it remotely with your friends, um, like in real time.
yeah. I mean, like
Okay.
I play against my mom. Like she's, I think the probably the hardest opponent I know is my mom, but there are some real hard ones out there. Some words I just never even heard of. So that's like why it's kind of cool because when you see all these really weird words you never heard of, you can look them up and then you add it to yourself.
Welcome, Ricardo.
Hey guys, hi
What's
Jeff.
up?
Hello,
Hi.
Ricardo.
Yeah. Hi guys. I just had to get on this conversation about Scrabble and chess and whatever because
Oh,
yeah,
are you a player?
I am I, I like a lot of games, but I used to play Scrabble with my family years ago, but then I didn't play board games for like I don't know 20 years or so because nobody really had them and we all just played computer games. But recently I've joined this men's group where it's quite a casual thing. It's just a few people just kind of meet up and talk about whatever. But lately, somebody's decided to turn it into a Scrabble tournament.
Oh,
So we just play Scrabble most
is
of the
this in
time. And I'm
person
like,
or online?
oh. No, it's in person. Yeah, we meet up,
Oh,
in
cool.
a local sort of cafe type thing, and yeah, we just they're just playing Scrabble, which I think it's a bit like I played it so much, and I don't know, I don't really enjoy it that much.
Yeah, it can get
Um,
old after a while. Look, yeah.
it's the way you've got to, small, tiny little 2-letter words are acceptable, even though a lot of these words nobody actually uses in common speech. So
Yeah, are
yeah,
they
Yeah.
do they have to be in the dictionary when you play? I mean, is that the
There's
rule?
a
yeah,
Scrabble dictionary now.
it's got its own special dictionary. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
Beck says she loves Risk.
and,
X
and
X XU is a word too. XU.
actually, I always have to ask, like, what if I if somebody plays a new word that I haven't heard of before, and I'm pretty good with words, but some of them I just go, well, what the hell does that mean? You know, can you define it? Because I can't just let it go by because it seems like you're just making up fucking words that don't exist. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
But
hey, dude, is that what? Is that the top of
Hang
a?
on, I'm hearing music.
I don't hear it.
it's not me, man.
I can't tell if it's
I'm
if
usually
it's in
playing
my
music, but
ear,
it's not.
if it's
Not,
online or outside. Hang on,
not at the moment.
it went away. It might be the band kids outside.
Those band kids.
Why are they practicing out in the street?
I don't know. There's a school near me, so maybe maybe it's something like that. It sounded like banging on drums or a trumpet or something.
Hmm.
Hey, Ricardo, is that a real picture of the top of a pot plant?
It's not my picture. I just sort of fished it off the internet, but
Yeah,
I just liked it because it's like
that's the. I
it
think the
just the
top.
colours are really, really, really nice and just got so much purple in it. I love it.
Yeah, it could be m- man-made, or handmade. Uh, you know what I mean? Could be AI or something, but it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Looking at it really closely and I'm zooming in on it, I don't think it's real. Like,
Although though, when they have the grow lights over top of it, it does give it a different kind of black light illumination.
oh sure, but if you look at there's like the top of it. There's like a red spike sticking out at the top.
Yeah,
Now
that's like
that's not
that's the
that's not that wouldn't be there.
like the top of the marijuana plant has like this giant bud right on top. That's like
Hmm.
yeah, cone pointed bud kind of on the very
And that
top.
green, yeah, that green stuff in the middle. That looks to me that looks more like brain matter or something
Uh,
like alien brain matter. I don't know.
yeah,
So
that's the bud. That's like
Uh oh.
the cola, the top cola. Whatever. Hold on, I gotta see
yeah.
this.
Is that you? Okay.
Hmm. Anyway,
Damn.
I
So
like it.
Spike, you're
It's
in for
different,
Scrabble. You
you know.
can make up for your Monopoly um, ambiguity.
I can play Scrabble. I can play Monopoly. I can play chess, but again, chess, not it's not really for me. I just think I just kind of think about chess, right, Jeff? If the world's, if a computer program, was it Deep Blue, can beat the best chess player in the world, Kasparov, then maybe it's not really a game for us, really.
That's why I like the games with a social element, like Cosmic
Yes,
Encounter, because it involves
exactly.
negotiating and making alliances and dealing, and a computer can't simulate that. There's like a
Yeah.
human element, like interpersonal element that is
And
is that the game depends on as
it's
well.
unique.
Spike,
Yeah,
you and I
that's
should
the kind of games that I want to
coordinate
play.
for
Yeah.
Monopoly and Scrabble.
Oh my god, I used to play that in school as a kid. At the they had in the gifted class. I would always entertain myself with it when everything was boring. I could just go get the mastermind
Mastermind.
game and play it. I love that game.
Wasn't that based on a real game show from
Take care,
England?
Mike. It's one where you move little colored pegs, so I don't know. There might be another type of game show called Mastermind, but I don't know if this is the same one because I don't know
I
how
don't
Oh
I don't know
exciting
no,
what
of a
that
game
is.
show that would make.
no, there's no pegs. It's just a quiz. It's like a general knowledge quiz or a very specific knowledge quiz
Oh, thanks you
that
too,
people
Mr. P. Take care. You have a great
specialize in
rest of your Friday.
subjects. Well, it's good to meet you anyway, Joe. I've never spoken to you before, but obviously seen you on panel loads. And
Okay, yeah, it is good to meet you.
yeah, man. Whereabouts in you in America?
Yes, I live in North Carolina.
Oh, cool, cool. I've heard good things. I'm in
Sorry.
Bournemouth in the south coast of England in the
Okay.
UK. It's a nice place, but the beach is lovely. But now it's October, the weather's got kind of cold and rainy and blowy, so it's just not very nice at the moment. We just get
Yeah,
little bit of
Fall's
sunshine
setting in
now and
here
again.
too.
But yeah, looking forward to the winter again.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold.
It's all good. It gets easier to deal with after 40 years or so.
Oh, 40 years of challenging weather.
Hmm.
That's how you call something bad without being insulting. You call it challenging.
Fails.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Wordle. Maybe that's maybe that's the one.
Kind of
Oh no,
neutral, isn't it?
is that the one they
Challenging.
play online and people post their? I hate that game because I hate seeing Wordle post. They'll post their
Oh
Wordles on
yeah,
Facebook and Twitter every day, and I think I'm getting a post from my friend and their stupid Wordle score.
yeah.
I don't care. I
Never
don't
played
care
that.
about people's word. Why would you post that? Why would you hijack somebody's bandwidth with your Wordle score?
Oh,
Yeah, I think every time someone shares their Wordle score, a SWAT team should break into their house and like
Well,
shove
the
their head
UK
into a
has though.
bathtub.
They could.
confiscate their
The
computers.
They have
Yeah,
those where Ricardo is.
it's time for a
Have
coffee.
you ever had have you ever had the cops come to your house because of a tweet?
Have I?
Yeah, or something on
No.
social media.
Thank God, no. But I don't really. I don't really. What's the word? Restrict myself with really with some of the things I say and the views and opinions I have. So I'm quite. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't been either cancelled, shut down, um,
They're coming.
harassed. But you know, maybe the stuff I say isn't that extreme. But it's just I just say how I feel, and I figure I've come this far, especially on YouTube. You know, because you can reach your messages can reach quite a lot of people, but and from all different places. But if I don't know, like.
Do you think maybe?
I just feel like I've come this far. I've always pretty much said what I felt, and you know, and nothing's happened yet. So I figure I may as well just carry on.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm not.
It's gonna
I
get
don't
trickier
want
now
to
too.
water down my message.
Now that the Tories are out of power, I wonder if it'll get even more censorious in the UK.
Yeah, I don't think it'll make much difference. But this new leader we've got, this new Prime Minister Keir Starmer, he's I don't know what to make of him.
Is he left? He's from the
He,
left.
Yeah,
well,
he's the Labour Party leader.
Yeah.
New Labour. The thing is, Labour and Conservative used to be different, but they're very different. But nowadays they're pretty much the same. Like New Labour and old Tories, they're just a different bunch of old cronies.
Are they trying to go after free speech there, like they are here?
Yeah, sure. There have been people who've been arrested and even put in prison for saying certain things online on Facebook
Yeah, there
or
was that guy,
whatever.
Count Dankula. He
Hmm.
trained his pug to like hold up his paw when he said Sieg Heil or something, and he did
Right.
that on
Oh
stream.
yeah, I heard
And Count
about that.
Dankula actually went to prison for that in the UK.
That's fucking
Oh
stupid,
God.
Even
man.
though it was a
That's so
troll,
stupid.
he actually went to prison for it. The government did not differentiate the fact that it was
That's
trolling.
where are all the social justice warriors over that injustice?
Specifically anti-Semitism, so called.
Yeah. I
Oh,
wonder if we'll see a point where J.K. Rowling goes to prison for her opinions on trans stuff.
Oh yeah,
hmm.
she really gets a lot of shit.
This
I
was
haven't heard her
back in.
views. Is she anti?
This was before COVID too. This is back in 2018.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was before. This when things were milder. So, um, yeah, you can only imagine how things are now.
Hmm. politics is just getting worse, man.
And
Oh, yeah,
the
not laws.
thing
I
is,
remember
like,
that.
as usual, they
Like-
leave out the context because it was about his girlfriend's dog being. She thought she had the cutest dog in the world, so he was trying to think of, like, what's the least cute thing I could do to make the dog, like, not be cute. And he came up with, I'll turn into a Nazi. So it was a joke against the girlfriend for thinking her dog was cute.
God.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when
funny.
Prince Harry wore that Nazi outfit to that Halloween party, and people got all upset about it. But I guess that was before, and so he didn't go to jail for it.
Oh, he got fined with no prison sentence.
What's that kind of
800
went to
pounds.
prison? I could have sworn he went
There's
to prison.
something called the Communications Act of 2003. That's like way back.
I might be thinking of somebody else. I really thought he did time with it. I know there's
Sending
something
a
similar.
malicious communication using social media was made a criminal offense, but who determines malice?
Well, I guess trying to troll your girlfriend is malicious in a way.
But who who's the authority of malice? Do we have a ministry of malice now?
They've got the old Bailey, so he
Or a
probably
ministry of
went there.
compassion, it would be called.
This is it. We're getting to V for Vendetta shit now in the UK. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. But by the way, that V for Vendetta, that's my favorite film ever.
I wonder if we should watch that
I
one.
love that film.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because
But
that
it'd
seems
probably be too
millennial-ish, like to go along with the Matrix.
I was about to say
Honestly,
that would probably
it's
be too
incredible.
millennial for you. You're going to come out of that like I hated that. Like, that
I
wasn't
I
even
did
acted
see it
off.
when it came. I saw it around
Yeah,
the time it came out, but I don't remember much about it, so it didn't make that much of an impression.
And Natalie
Well,
Portman
I-
pissed you the
no,
fuck
no.
off in that movie.
I thought it was I think it's the best film ever.
I'd have to
It
watch
was
it.
my
Again. Let me
best
see. When
friend's
did it
favorite
come
film
out?
for a long time.
05,
2006.
06.
I think it predicts so many things. And it
And
The
was
UK is surprisingly more
Oh,
authoritarian now.
he directed some of the he did Dark City and The Matrix.
Yeah, I think what's interesting though about V for Vendetta is, at the time, I think people imagine an authoritarian future coming more from the political right,
Oh, assistant director.
and we're seeing more examples of it come from the political left right now.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you will see like dystopian films where the dictator is leftist, and then a generation later, it'll go back to the right wingers being the authoritarians.
Like a goddamn seesaw.
Yeah, I don't know, but what I really loved about that film, particularly, what surprised me was that it seems to have been a Hollywood production, but completely set in the UK, in mostly in London, right? But and also most of the actors were American, but they did fantastic English accents. Especially the my favorite actress,
Natalie
I forget
Portman.
her name now.
Oh, Natalie Portman.
Natalie
Hugo
Portman,
Weaving,
thank you.
Stephen Ray, Stephen
just-
Fry, John Hurt. Oh, I like him.
Well,
She was
Hugo
just-
Weaving.
I didn't know it was the
Fantastic.
Wachowskis that did it.
Yeah,
It's the same people that did Matrix.
I think it's better than Matrix.
Well, that's not hard to do. We'll see if they improved any.
I like The
It
Matrix
does-
as well. That's a great film.
Yeah, V for Vendetta has a lot
you a
of
millennial?
like thematic similarities to the Matrix.
Me? Am I a
Yeah.
millennial, Jeff?
Yeah.
I was born in '75, so what do you
No
think?
way. And you like the Matrix?
Yeah, I love The Matrix.
All right. Well,
I didn't understand it.
you may
at
be a
first, but I had to-
millennial and not
I
know
had to
it.
watch it a few times before I got it, but now, yeah, I get it, and
What did
I
you
think it's
of the,
fantastic.
What did you think of the sequels?
Yeah, not so much. Like the
Yeah.
second one was good. It's a bit like Terminator, really. The second one was good, but the third one was just
Shit.
stupid. It
Yeah.
just went too far,
Oh yeah,
and I couldn't believe it
they're
anymore.
barely in the Matrix in the third one. Yeah, I
Yeah, I mean,
remember when I was a kid,
it
I
must be
liked the
hard.
second one a bit more, but I think when I went back and watched them, the first Matrix really is the best.
Yes, definitely. With Morpheus is one of my favorite characters as well. Absolutely loved Morpheus.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah, I
just
generally
brilliant.
saw him as one of the better characters. And they got the best actor to play him, of course. And
Hmm.
but what's interesting about the Matrix is, well, so the second one I liked more as a kid because the stunts and stuff are a lot cooler and more ambitious. You know, you get to
Yeah.
see Neo being the one. You know, he fights like 1,000 Smiths and it looks cool. But
Yeah.
the first Matrix really is better because it's more grounded. The path to becoming the one is really a more exciting story.
Mhm.
Um, even if the action sequences in Matrix Reloaded are more exciting because nothing's really holding back Neo anymore. But
Yeah.
Neo in God mode isn't just as exciting. It's similar to like the first Star Wars, uh, where when Luke uses the Force for the first time to destroy the Death Star, Neo realizes he's the one and overcomes it. There's a lot of parallels between the first Matrix and the first Star Wars. The first Matrix was kind of that's the Star Wars for that generation, right? It's almost 20 years exactly because what I
Mm.
think A New Hope comes out in 77.
77, May of 77.
Yeah, and
Mm.
then The Matrix comes out in 99. So you've got like a
Yeah.
whole generation forward, and they're both kind of these science fantasy types of films, right? With like religious elements mixed into the science fiction. Uh, and they kind of follow this young man who doesn't know his place in the world. He gets a mentor who like shows him the way. They're very similar, but they sort of have different philosophical elements to it. I think um, Star Wars is much more of a pure adventure type of film. Matrix, I think, is more. It's definitely, I think, it has much darker intonations to it.
Now, which Star Wars, the early ones or the remake? Are they
The OGs.
not remake?
The original trilogies. I'm not talking about the prequel or the sequel trilogies. Even
Yeah,
though, like, I think the Phantom Menace came out the same year as the Matrix. I'm not talking about that.
I didn't
yeah,
even watch it. I've never seen any of the
yeah.
additional Star Wars.
Those were just like, oh, man. I didn't like them at all. I mean, I know a lot of people liked them, but I just couldn't get into them.
I didn't even really care for the originals. I saw them at the theaters. They were blockbuster events. You went and you watched it, but they weren't any different than any other movie at the time. There was nothing that special about them.
That is
Yeah,
an
I
interesting
mean,
take.
for me as a kid, I liked them. And that's like the early '80s. So I'm watching these movies from the '70s.
I remember the action figures more than the actual movie because we played
I
with
had
them
a bunch
all
of
the
those
time.
when I was a kid. I like almost all the Star Wars character action figures. I
Hmm.
played with them a lot.
Was that the first big movie franchise that had merch?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the first real example of something like that. Um, because there was just nothing quite like Star Wars. Like you didn't even really have big
There was
blockbuster type movies
Barbarella
until
and
Jaws.
what's the one with Sean Connery?
And like
Electric
I want to say
Barbarella.
not Lost, but
I think like the first media
Zoltar.
franchise. I think the first real media franchise that really had a big connection to merchandise were the Transformers toys.
Mm.
I think that's what really kind of opened the door to that, and you started seeing a lot more
GI
things that
Joe's,
merchandise.
Zordoz.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking of.
GI Joe. I remember that. Like,
yeah, GI
And
Joe and Transformers.
2001. It doesn't get better than that. Hands down, best sci-fi ever made.
I used
Never
to
make a better one than
blow
that.
up my GI Joes with firecrackers. You know how they had these rubber bands? You could pull them apart, their bodies a little bit. We'd stick the firecrackers in their torso, and the thing would just blow up.
You would
You're
blow
you're
up your GI Joes?
Yeah,
you're
dude.
the reason they made that character Sith in Toy Story. They're doing it based on kids like you.
Well, yeah, dude. Fucking, I just got sick of them because I just got out of that. I was not into them anymore. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna blow them up.
You've served your purpose.
Yeah, I had more fun with them blowing them up than I did playing with them.
Oh my god.
I was actually never allowed to have I wasn't allowed to have toys, but
Because
action
they were
figures.
violent.
Yeah, because they would promote would be associated with violence, even mild. You know, we just weren't allowed.
Oh,
But
really?
I don't think I was severely like
And
traumatized.
they didn't think you could contextualize it into a military context.
Yeah, what? Say again?
Your parents didn't think you could understand that it was violence in a military context, and that you weren't necessarily going to go out and be violent. That it was army
Yeah,
people.
no, I just don't think they wanted to encourage me being violent or playing with guns or anything like that in case I turned into some kind of mass murdering
Did it
psychopath.
work? Like, are you less violent?
Um, I suppose, but that's probably because I got into psychedelics
I guess you
and
wouldn't
weed
know how
from
violent you
an
would be
early age.
otherwise, though.
No, no, it's scary when I think about it because I have had murderous impulses even from an early age. From like 10, I was gonna kill someone.
Oh,
But of course, the logical, sensible part of my brain always overrides it and just makes me think, really? Really gonna do that with the consequences of spending 25 years in prison? It's just not worth it, man. So no, I've always managed to hold myself back. I'm just very passionate. I don't know.
You ever getting like scraps or anything when you get in fights?
Oh yeah, used to it at school quite
I
a bit.
thought you were a musician. What kind of fights do musicians get into?
Hmm.
Some musicians get
Music.
in the fights all
Well,
the time.
not great
He's a
ones.
trumpet player.
I wouldn't be a.
Yeah, but
I
that
wouldn't.
doesn't mean they don't get
The
into
trumpet
fights.
wouldn't be a
Well, yeah,
very
they
good
use trumpets in
weapon.
battle, so I guess.
Oh
Like John
man,
Well, yeah, I
Lennon
could
used to get in fights.
blow it right in somebody's ear, and possibly deafen
yeah,
them.
like
That'd be
yeah, you
cool.
could blow out their eardrum.
Yeah. Uh, no,
They'll be hearing
no,
squealing for the rest of their lives.
no. I'm really. I don't know. I'm. I'm kind of cool with a little bit of violence. I can. I can watch a violent film and not kind of just think, well, it's just kind of fantasy, It's not. It didn't really
Yeah, like
happen.
Quentin Tarantino.
But then sometimes if it's too much, like certain poignant scenes of extreme violence do haunt me, and they I can't get rid of I can't get the images out of my head.
Hmm.
It's a bit like, can I give you an example? Is that a good idea?
It's from a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, from
American.
a,
There's always I can never forget this
as long as it
American
doesn't spoil the movie for people that might not have seen it.
Oh no, well, hopefully not. But I guess most people have seen American History X,
Oh yeah,
right?
I
That
like that movie.
that scene where the guy is the two guys are having a fight, a white guy and a black guy. It's all I can remember. And one of the black guys like kind of he's on the ropes. He's kind of almost knocked out, and I don't even want to describe it.
He
Yeah,
gets
I know the scene though. It
curbed.
is
Is
pretty
it?
He,
violent.
Is that the
he
one where
does.
he gets
He,
curbed on the pavement?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No.
he smashes his boot into the back of
Yeah,
Okay,
his
hang
head
on. Yeah,
over
we
a
get it.
curb, and
I don't want to push
yeah,
it too
yeah, yeah.
far because I have
yeah.
a cool little channel going that I want to try to keep.
But
Uh,
it's like, but it actually disturbs me still to this day. It's the way, Jeff. It's the way that everything goes. There's like a whiteout almost, and it's like this part of the scene with special effects or something, but it makes it even more poignant. Everything just whites out for a second, and it's like fuck. And as an empath, I could really feel that,
Mhm.
that pain and suffering that the guy was going through, and I was just like, fuck. no fucking way. And now I can't stop thinking about it. It's like in the back of my mind all the time. Shit like that, and like horror films as well. I can't do extreme horror films.
I
They
can't
just
either. I have to stay away
disturb
from
me.
some horror because
A
it's. I
lot of horror
already
films
know
aren't
it's going
even
to be too
scary.
creepy. It'd stay with me.
They affect my sleep as well.
Yeah,
So
I, like Saw and all those. I can't watch any of that stuff.
no, no,
I can't even watch Friday the 13th.
In my view,
no.
those movies are often not very scary because
They're either
Probably not.
scary or they're stupid, and I laugh at them.
to
But
me,
if
the
they're
scariest
scary, they're
films are
really
not.
scary, and I can't watch them because they stay with me.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So to me, the scariest films are the ones that are not billed as horror.
Mhm.
Those are usually when you actually feel afraid watching a movie. Is if the movie is written well enough that I've come to like care about what happens to the characters, and I want to see. I don't want bad things to happen, right? And to do that, you need like an organic story, and it's just hard to do that if you go into a screenplay with the mindset of, "Ooh, this is going to be a horror."
Yeah. Oh, not Loz. Not Loz said mentioned the human centipede, and that was really bad. I watched a little bit of that, but I couldn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it till the end, so I was just like, "F this. This is sick." Gonna do something a bit.
Somebody will come along in a few years and top it with something
Mm.
even more sick.
Yeah, there are like
They
some
don't-
of those films that are they just exist, and it's like, can we make an idea so gross
Mhm.
that people will watch it just to like almost on a dare? That's basically what those movies are.
Yeah, like these filmmakers are trying to outdo each other for how sick and depraved and twisted they can be. I don't think it should be encouraged. I don't think it's healthy.
Well,
I think
but I think adults should have the right to do their art, and especially someone from Gen X. That we had all
yeah.
that. That was like normal for us.
You're right. Human Centipede is totally Gen X. You're right.
No, not Human Centipede, but just violence and gore and horror in general.
Jeff, you remember that show From? You looked up that one. I'm on the third season now, man. That is fucking twisted, and probably would make you a little disturbed.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
It,
About
it,
the people in the town. Yeah, I do remember you telling me about it.
it is pretty twisted, man. Like it kind of like gives me the willies, and I've seen a lot of weird shit, and in a way,
Yeah,
it's
give me
stupid, but
give me a
like,
nice rom-com any day.
what's that?
Oh, really?
Give me
I
a
might
nice
pick a
romantic
horror
comedy.
over a rom com if I were forced to watch one.
Rom-coms can sometimes be scary in a different way, like
Yeah.
where you're like cringing that the dude is about to do something really embarrassing and you can't bear to look. They always do that in rom-coms. They're like the max cringe humor, like watching The Office for the first time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Have
yeah.
never watched that either.
The Office is great, especially the original, the English series.
Oh, the English one is even more cringe than the American one. That is very
Yeah.
difficult to watch.
Yeah. Because they're just they're just in this office in Slough, the really just boring little town. It's just the making, in a paper, well, they make paper or whatever. It's just like you'd have to do crazy stuff and just, have a laugh with anything you could just to alleviate the boredom.
Yeah, I think
Thank God they got a boss like
the British Office is
Ricky
kind of a
Gervais.
darker show too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see the American one much, but I know I heard what's his name is in it? The guy from Anchorman, Brick.
Steve Carell.
Yeah, Steve Carell. He was like the main character, which apparently Ricky Gervais wasn't too happy about because he probably thought it was nothing like him, but that's the way it goes.
My
Show business.
understanding is that Ricky Gervais actually was one of the people who suggested the American version had to be done different because he knew that the American audience would respond to a different type of humor than the
Of
British.
course.
So he
Yeah.
was like in favor of making the main character more likable than the David Brent character in his show.
Okay. But he didn't actually have anything to do with writing it or producing it, did he?
No, it was more just the creative input. Like you can't do a carbon copy of the British version. We need to, like, in terms
Right.
of sort of this designing the characters initially, you know, for the writers and directors to work with afterward.
Yeah.
He agreed that it needed to be done differently, or it just wouldn't have worked for an American audience. And he's probably correct. Like British humor, like British people can laugh at a boss on a show like The Office that has no redeeming qualities, and American audiences would just not be able to stick around for that. They would want something to like. They want like some sort of hero to root for. They kind of make Michael Scott this underdog you come to root for over time on the American version of the show.
Uh-huh. Who's Michael Scott?
He's the boss character in the American version of The Office.
Oh right. Yeah. I can't remember the original one's name now. David Brent.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
so like they make Michael Scott out to be this irresponsible boss at first, and then you gradually discover that he's just this lovable misfit in the course of the show. And so he's everybody loves him by the end. At first you kind of want to see bad things happen to him. You want to see him get his comeuppance, but gradually you come to appreciate him, and you want to see him succeed, and you root for him.
It's kind of like a lovable weirdo of sorts.
Yeah, and that's what an American audience would want to watch. They don't want to see this thing where it's just like British humor is like, I know it's different because British humor has to fit into the mindset of the stiff upper lip that is British culture, and Americans don't do that. Americans are not stiff upper lip people, except in certain parts of the country.
Yeah, I understand.
Americans are loud and passionate. They like to shoot their guns at things. It just doesn't work.
Things have changed, though. I mean, you know, in culture and class here. I mean, it's, you know, like there was a comedy series for a while called Shameless, and it.
I tried. Yeah, I think I watched part of that.
It was set on a
there's an American version.
A council estate, you know, quite a poor area, and just everybody just had to kind of, you know, help each other out. And yeah, I feel, you know, it's a bit, obviously, like a bit exaggerated, some of the characters, but it was good. It certainly took things to a new level that had never been seen before.
Did you see the American version too, or did you just?
No, I didn't know there was an American version.
Yeah,
That's another one to watch.
It's
That's the
really
thing about America. Our version of the show will be made if it's successful somewhere else.
Yeah, right. I mean, shit. But like, yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent show, but it is very left wing, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not too woke, but it is leaning on woke. It's early, like, buds of woke.
What is Shameless?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. It's not like too hardcore.
What year was that? Let me see.
That was like 2000s,
Early 2000s.
2011 to 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was the 2010s were the woke. That's when wokeness started to crest.
Yeah,
there was some good gay characters in it, though. I remember, and that was brave of them to show more open gay characters. Nice to see.
It didn't bug me at all, but like, you know, it did have some funny moments to it, I thought, but
just one I remembered. Something I haven't even thought about for years. Just suddenly sprung into my mind, you know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the American Shameless, and then you just brought it up, and I was just like, weird. We're on the same wavelength for a second.
Hmm. I wonder where that was set then. In the projects or something.
I think it was. I watched. I think I watched the first few episodes. It's like a family of.
Yeah, they're like in the
They're like some bro. I remember they were on the rooftops. It was some kind of city, maybe New York.
it was kind of like outskirts of the city a little bit, wasn't it?
Cool.
I
Well,
think.
if it's good, if you recommend it, then I'll go and
South
Well,
seek
side
it
of
out.
Chicago.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty decent. I think I might even go back and watch it again.
Definitely.
It's not
Well,
like
thanks for the tip.
it's
Yeah.
not mind blowingly good, but it does have its moments.
Oh, my
I
sister is
like.
here. I'm at her house, but she finally got home.
Oh,
All right,
oh,
I'm gonna hop out,
okay.
guys.
Take it. I'm gonna wind down soon anyway. I'm
Yeah.
feeling pretty tired. I think I'm gonna go try to get some rest.
You
Does
know,
Cool.
anybody else want to start a stream? I can send everyone over to you. Anybody in the chat?
not me.
Let me see who's streaming now.
I'd like to.
Um,
I just need to get a laptop and I can do it properly.
I don't see many people out right now. So
My
With the
laptop's
pass on the phone.
Silver Diamond, I discovered her the other day. She's pretty cool. She does no drama streams.
Oh,
I,
hang on, Silver
Check her out.
Diamond. I
Yeah.
know that one. I know her from
Well, she's
years
live now
ago.
with Howie Hamster.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Would
Live
you,
panel, chat, no drama, religion, or
that sounds
politics.
awesome. See if she remembers
I
me.
love her background.
Can you post the link? Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
it should be in there.
where's the link? In the back stage.
Oh, you need in the back here.
Thank you. I'll check it out. Maybe it's got an ad on it. Well, I guess I'll let you go, man.
All right, we'll take
Hey,
care and we'll
you
see you
gonna
again.
stream later on?
I'm gonna play it by ear. I'll see how I do.
All right, brother. You have a good day.
You too, Busker.
All right.
Talk to you later. Okay, take care. All right, I think that's about all I have the energy for today. Maybe I'll be out later. Maybe. Oh yeah, you too, Ricardo. Anytime. I'm just very low energy today. All right. If you don't see me today, look for me the next day or two. I might take a break. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what my body does. All right. Take care, everybody. Fun hanging out.